Hello and welcome once again to the final episode of the Paranormal Nightstalker for 2018. Of course, we are just days away from 2019, and there's not going to be any of this promising to be a new me, new this for the new year bullshit that everyone else pulls out, because I will always be the same annoying asshole that you know and love. I am Joel Walling, and of course with me as always is Michael Smith, and today we actually have stuff to talk about. Believe it or not, there has been preparation into this episode. I think somewhere in the neighborhood of, 15 to 20 minutes?
Yeah, which is the record for us.
Yeah, that's actually a good amount there, So, for one of the things we got, of course, we're going to have the app of the week that we're going to talk about and either A, talk about and destroy, or say, hey, this might actually be something. The other thing, big news in the paranormal world, the original, the grandfathers of paranormal investigations on television, Ghost Hunters is returning to TV, and we are going to have internet reactions from this. I actually followed a thread last night. I've got 3 pages of comments that we're going to be sharing with you guys. And what was that other thing we were just talking about?
The fact that we're on...
that's right, a big new distributor and way you can listen to the Paranormal Nightstalker. And that is now iHeartRadio. This is through the internet app or the cell phone app or the Alexa app or the Google app or any of the other iHeartRadio thingies. I think they even do a Sirius satellite station and all of that stuff. We are now on iHeartRadio, so you can listen to us literally everywhere. There is no place you can't get to us. And we want to welcome iHeartRadio. And I also want to give a shout out to a place, and I'm going to pull up the name here because we actually, as we have said before, and as I've talked with some of the other people, since one of the other things we're going to be talking about is the Nightstalker Network. That is what we're calling it for right now because it is still a work in progress. But launching in January, we're actually going to have 6 total podcasts. Now, I guess that's where we'll start off first because it's the biggest news happening with us right now. And like I said, it's going to be a total of 6 different podcasts, and really there's going to be a wide range in the audience. You're not going to get the same thing. It's not going to be all paranormal. We're not, I'm sorry. I mean, I love this. I do this all the time. I'm a member of the research groups. We talk to people all the time about this. We are constantly functioning in this, but the fact of it is, the paranormal can get old. There's only so much you can talk about. We'll say this, in January, we're coming in with a roar rather than with a whimper because we've got lined up, we've got a paranormal investigation group made up entirely of military veterans.
In active duty. Some of those guys are still active.
Yes, that's right. I forgot about that. These are actually, a lot of them are active duty. You have to be in the military or have been in the military to be part of this group. We're going to be talking to them. And we are actually, and finally, after 2 years of searching, we are getting to talk to a app developer, someone who actually works in ITC app development. We're going to be talking to Brian Holloway. As you know, a few weeks ago, we actually did do one of his apps, and it's the one that me and Michael both felt we were just really missing something. So we took a step back from doing our normal calling it bullshit to say, hey, wait a second, there could be something to this we are missing. Let's try to talk to him first. Because as we've talked about before, it's been about 2 years since we restarted the Nightstalker in the podcast, and we have been trying to get app developers to talk to us. The simple thing of it is, app developers do not like talking to us about it. They don't want people, I don't really want to say they don't want people asking questions, but they don't really want people, what's the word I'm looking for here? Maybe they don't want people that know what they're talking about to ask them about certain things. And one of the things that caught my eye with Brian is the fact that him and his group, I don't know if this is just a research group or if it's a developmental group or whatever, but they actually have a Facebook community page set up and they talk live with their users. So if you have a question about the app, if you have something you want to ask about it, you have something you've gotten on the app that you're questioning or something like that, there is someone there that knows the inside and the out of the app that will actually talk to you, including Brian himself. When I've talked about this before with other people, like our good friend Psychic Medium Sherry and June Lundgren. When you're dealing with someone like us, someone that deals with this stuff and works with this stuff, and you're willing to stand up and say, or even, in the normal community, like with Brian, where he's willing to stand up and go, hey, we're working on this. If you have questions, you want to know something, ask us. You either have the real deal or you got balls of steel. Because you should know automatically at some point somebody's going to bust you. So I am absolutely psyched for that. Absolutely psyched. Because honestly, like I said, 2 years of trying and we have got no one, not even a returned email. I'm really thinking that for the most part, these app guys are like, oh, no, we're not getting anywhere near them. Brian isn't like that. He's like, yeah, you want to talk about this? We'll talk about it. So that really gives me a hopeful feeling, because I'm really hoping that this guy's got something. And not only has he got something, but he's doing something that we preach about all the time on here. He's got something, and he's willing to come out and talk about it. He's willing to say, this is how it works. This is what I'm using. Because he's willing to share with the paranormal world. We, like a guy that makes, he runs paranormal investigation equipment. And I always remember it because I call him the Pie Guy. Because that's his site, PIE. He always says, we have to remember we're in this together. And that's where he seems to be leading it. And that's what I'm, just like I said, I'm excited to talk to him about that. We're also going to be having a group from South Carolina come on, which actually could, back to the podcast network, could end up with them having their own show sometime in the new year. But for the right off in January, we're going to have 6 launching. Of course, the Nightstalker is one of them. We're always going to be here, with our random brains and utter insanity and profanity being slung out of here like a artist working in tapestry. We will be here. Also, as I was speaking of our friend Psychic Medium Sherry, she is going to be doing Portals to Enlightenment. This is a journey of mind, body, and spirit that she's going to be talking about each and every week. She's going to have a different subject, a different guest, just completely different things, dealing with everything from, some of it will be dealing with paranormal issues, but other things will be dealing with like health and fitness. She's a practitioner of Chinese medicine in medical Qigong, so she's going to be talking about that. I'm a certified butcher. She's talked about maybe me coming on and talking about the different cuts of meat and what would be, the best for like muscle building protein, and the mixture, the flavor for making sure you get the right amount of fat content, but without overblowing it and end up gaining 20 pounds, this kind of thing. So it's going to be a fascinating look into just about any and everything. Also coming in, we have, sticking with the paranormal thing, we have 2 major paranormal shows. One of them being Paranormal Crossings Into the Unknown. Now, if any of you all follow it, Aaron Collins has been doing Paranormal Crossings on television, and he also does YouTube videos of Paranormal Crossings, holding different interviews. He was on Ghost Adventures here not too long ago. He works with a lot of different people in the industry. He's going to be bringing his podcast back. It had been a podcast once before, but it was something he stepped away from, and he's going to be coming back with either his wife as a co-host or James Mitchell from Anarchy Radio. He's going to be one that's going to be stepping in occasionally behind the mic with Aaron, and that's one we're really excited about. Of course, the big one is Dark Side of the Paranormal with June Lundgren and Wendy Stanton. Now, those 2 are ghost and girls on their own. They also work with Aaron and Northwest Paranormal. They've been on Ghost Adventures. Of course, June is an international author. She has been all over on radio and television. She's got several books out. She's actually working on a new one as we speak. She's cutting time in between writing and her full-time job, which she is a registered nurse and still works in a hospital, along with recording the podcast. So I'm amazed, because I can't see how June has found an extra hour in the day to do this, but she does it every Saturday we record. That first episode is actually coming out, oh wait, I forget, we pre-record. So actually that episode came out 2 days ago, Wednesday, December 26th at 7 p.m. But every Wednesday from here on out, you're going to be able to hear June. The first episode is going to be her and Wendy talking about their background, her life as the demon seer, those kind of things. Then it kicks right in. The next episode is a ghost adventure exclusive. It's going to be a roundtable discussion of her, Wendy, Aaron, and Aaron's wife's name is escaping me right now, and I feel horrible about that. I believe her name is Christina, or Christine. And I'm sorry, Aaron, if you're listening, and especially Aaron's wife, I'm absolutely terrible with names. But they're going to be sitting down and talking about their experience on ghost adventures. And even more so, they're giving a behind-the-scenes look. The stuff that goes on behind the cameras. The amount of filming they do. How they set up their investigations. How they do the interviews. All of that. They're giving a real unfiltered behind-the-scenes look of what it's like to be on Ghost Adventures. If you are a fan of the show, if you hate the show, if you just want to know what type of underwear Zach Bagans wears, this is your best.
Did you have to go there?
Well, yeah, because 99% of Zach Bagans fans, that's all they care about. Well, no, I take that back. I take that back. They don't care what kind of underwear he wears. They care about how they can get him out of it. Or him into theirs. But, as I was saying, this is just, it's really a 100% behind the scenes look into that whole show. And I'm going to tell you, as somebody who's not a big fan of Zach Bagans, and who is not a massive fan of Ghost Adventures, it was pretty amazing to hear what they do and how they do it. And honestly, the dedication they have to what they're doing. And the stuff that, like I said, I'm not going to give anything away because I want you to listen. But you hear a lot about Zach, a lot about Aaron, a lot about Billy. It's an amazing thing to hear. Like I said, especially if you're a fan of the show. If you're a fan of the show, you're going to get a look inside of their lives that you don't normally get to see. Because we're fans of the show. You watch it for an hour a week. And that's it. You see what they edit and what they put out. You don't see the toll it takes on them. You don't see their preparations. You don't see their experiences. This was them seeing it from behind the camera. Like I said, it's a 2-part episode. It's going to be almost 2 hours of them talking about this, and it's absolutely amazing. So that is the big one coming. Now, we're still continuing. We have UCF, Uncharted Case Files with Ryan Stacy. Ryan Stacy, of course, has been on the podcast before. He's been on the Nightstalker. He was on just a few weeks ago. If you guys want to go back and listen to his episode, you can find him on Facebook. He does this every week. He is a investigative journalist, paranormal investigator, and UFOologist or UFO investigator. I don't know which one he prefers. But anyway, he's been doing this for a long time. He's got an actual investigative background. He is a private investigator. He does work with, I believe, the Ontario Police Department. So he actually does work in actual investigations, and he brings that real-world experience, that real-world investigation into everything he does. But he also happens to be the assistant director of MUFON Canada. So he works a lot. A matter of fact, he has closed, personally himself, over 500 unidentified flying object cases for MUFON. He really knows his stuff when it comes to investigation. And every week you're going to be getting a little bit of a look into how he works with it, how he functions with it. If people have reported new things, stuff he's looking into, that kind of stuff, all of it is completely unfiltered. This is everything just as he's doing it, as he's working. You get a really good, interesting look into what he does. Of course, like I said, that's UFC with Ryan Stacy, or UCF with Ryan Stacy. Yeah, I've been talking to him about that. I was like, I think we might want to change the name because people might get it confused. And I'm people, and I get it confused. So we either have Uncharted Case Files or Ultimate Fighting Championship, and I haven't decided which ones yet. Now, I think I've covered all of the ones that are working on my end, but you are producing one yourself. And
yes, the Dark Farm.
Let's give them a little bit of look into the Dark Farm?
Well, my roommate, bless his heart, he talks in his sleep. And some of the stuff he comes up with is hilarious. So we've kind of built stories around these people because they have names. He comes up with names and animals and weird stuff. It's the subconscious mind. He isn't awake for any of it. He really's not. He thought I was lying to him when I told him what he had said. I had to record it on a digital recorder and play it back for him to hear it. For he'd believe it was him. He thought I was making it up. And so we decided to build a podcast, like a story thing, around these characters. And there's people like Beauregard and Buford and Beulah and Bessie and Grandma and Uncle Earl. And there's hobos and there's mules. And there's a place called the Poop Deck Saloon. And there's, it's a crazy place. It's like if Las Vegas met any backwood town you ever wanted to meet.
While on LSD.
LSD and steroids, you'd have what this is. And we're going to be working on that in a couple of days and have an episode up.
Well, let's give them a little bit of a taste of what they can expect, because I got two of them from yesterday, and now I'm going to read these to you. And remember, this is completely unedited, or this is not something we have prepared or written. This is just as it happened. Well, old possum, if you had a dinosaur stuck up a monkey's ass, you'd be feeling kind of old too. That was a great one. And of course, I do believe there's a duckling in my athletic supporter. I don't know how it got there. Maybe the ghost did it.
Yeah, and I've got a whole book full of them I've written down. Here's just a couple.
Yeah, that was actually the last two you sent me, which were yesterday at 12:38 p.m.
I mean, I write them down in a little book so we remember them. I mean, I've got get that donkey off the poop deck. Grandma don't like it.
Yeah.
Meet me on the poop deck, Pappy, and we'll catch us some squirrels. I mean, there's, this is not PG, this is not G-rated stuff. So some of these are going to need to be, it's for adults.
Yeah, this is definitely adults. Well, not really adults only. It's not like, it's not pornography we're talking about here, folks. But it's definitely got a little bit of some salty language and I guess you'd say some salty language and some suggestive themes.
Yeah, I mean, because one of my personal favorites, I don't want to give too much away, but one of the best ones I ever heard was, "Good Lord, Grandma needs a muff cuff. That poop deck ain't going to shine itself." And, I mean, I'm hearing this stuff and he's saying it and I'm trying to write it down and I'm dying laughing. It's hard to write when you're crying and wanting to spit, because I just take a drink of a soda and you're wanting to blow soda out of your nose because you're laughing so hard. So yeah, there's gonna be some conversations out of the Dark Farm coming up.
Yeah, definitely with that. Okay, so I think we've probably gone as much into the network shows as we can. Don't think I forgot anybody. I hit Sherry's, Aaron's, June's, Ryan's, ours, and the Dark Farm. So that's the 6. Now, of course, we can, like I said, these are going to be everywhere you want to download your podcast. Right off the bat, they're going to be on iTunes, Podcast Addict, Stitcher Podcast, Google Play, Spotify, SoundCloud, YouTube, Facebook, Twitter, just like I said, just about anywhere and everywhere you want to listen to your podcasts at. It's on literally a list so long I can't name every one of them. We are on a ton of different platforms, a ton of different places. And it's just all of them are going to be on all of them except for iHeartRadio. iHeartRadio is right now, the Nightstalker is exclusively on it. It's the only one from the network. But of course, the rest of them haven't really launched. Aaron does have an episode out Sherry's just came out last weekend. June's just came out a few days ago. They've got to get a little more track before we get into that. But as far as listeners go, I want to give a special shout out to Thornton, Australia, because I actually have I can look at the demographics about where we are listened to the most, and out of all the towns in the world, Thornton, Australia is number one. More people that in Thornton, Australia listen to us than in any one specific town in the world. So I want to tell those people there, I want to say thank you very much for your support and hope you continue listening. Spread it around, like and subscribe and follow and know all of that stuff. Tell it to your friends. Tell it if your significant other doesn't listen, tell them you will leave them, you will divorce them if they don't start downloading and listening to it. Unless, of course, you share. Where in that case, then you don't have to threaten to leave them. You could just go on and continue to share like you have been doing. The next one is Ashburn, Virginia. We're getting a big boom there, and of course, the state of North Carolina seems to love us because we're in Fort Bragg, Charlotte, Indian Trail, all of those. Big numbers coming out of there. So again, thank you to us, the Thornton, Australia, Ashburn, Virginia, and of course, North Carolina, my former home state and a state you're very close to in South Carolina. So now that I think we have covered everything about the network and where you can find it, of course, for right now, if you haven't already, you could go to the Facebook Nightstalker page, www.facebook.com/NightstalkerPod, or on Twitter @NightstalkerPod. Those are the two places right now that are guaranteed every release is going to be there of all podcasts. Everyone is going to be distributed to that. Like I said, though, you can always find it on iTunes, Google Play, Podcast Addict, Stitcher Podcast, or anything like that. Spotify, SoundCloud, all of those are still there. So if you wanted to subscribe or follow on any of those, heart them, I think was what you do, or love it on Spotify, those things, those are the easiest ways to find it. But if you're just wanting to listen to it online, you could get a link from either Facebook or Twitter that will take you to the Spreaker website that will allow you to follow us online, listen to it, leave comments, ask questions, those kind of things. All of that's right there in the Speaker website. So should I guess maybe go into the dramatic return of ghost hunters to paranormal television?
Sure, why not?
Okay. Well, let me open this up here and we will bring it up to what you need to know. This has been teased for a little bit, I guess, on Twitter. I'm going to be totally honest with you. I don't follow those guys. We were a part of TAPS for about a minute, and I still don't know the complete situation with that, but we did walk away. We quit as a group, Paranormal PNBC, and of course I'm also a part of the Vancouver Paranormal Society. We all, basically we all voted and we all said, we're done. We're walking away. So the thing is, we left because I'm part of the Vancouver Paranormal Society, and I'm friends with the person there, personal friends, that was having the main conflict, and he had decided to leave and ask if he left, would the rest, if the rest of the team was going to be okay leaving and all that. And I told him, yes, I was behind him 100%. Because I am. That's my friend. I don't give a crap about TAPS, because frankly, they have done jack shit for me. So, I don't care. I'm going to stick with my friend. I've got my friend's back. So we left. But PNBC was accepted as a member of TAPS on a standalone basis. Not because it was part of working with VPS or anything else. PNBC was removed from TAPS. And I don't know exactly the full outcome of that. I don't know if they saw when I left, they said, oh, well, help, PNBC's leaving. So I guess they're all leaving. But like I said, we're going to get into that in another day. So, but anyway, he was, I guess it's Jason Hughes. So I guess he has been teasing this on Twitter that they're coming back. And now they made an announcement. Fans are going to be very happy in 2019. So that is led everybody to say, oh God, they're coming back. Yay, yay, yay. Or so we hope. Like I said, I've got 3 pages of comments here to go through. And let's see. So the first one that comes in that seems to be happy. Yay! Simple comment. Great. I've been hoping this show would return for another season. Well, it's certainly watchable. I don't know exactly how that fits in, but it does. Can't wait. It was my favorite show. Looking forward to it. Yay. I hope they have less people involved so there's less bullshit. That's the next comment. So, they faked before. Hope they have stopped faking shit now. Then another yay. Remember, this language is not mine. It is what they're saying on the pictures. They stopped playing it on Australia, and I was very peed off. That was just kind of a open statement there. Can't wait for it. My favorite show. Woohoo! Let's hope they... I just gotta hope they screen it in Australia now. Okay, so another one about Australia canceling it. Now we've got more coming up. So now we're getting into it. This is where it had been setting for a little bit, so people had time to actually get into it. So we've got our first argument of the thread coming up. We have, hell yeah, freaking awesome. Grant or no Grant? Why the hell would they be bringing back Grant? Grant was the one actually caught faking shit. Yeah, but you know they all fake shit anyway. But Grant was actually the one caught. Why would they bring him back? Didn't he just quit ghost hunting altogether? So I guess we'll move on from that one. They decided to rip Grant apart. Great, woohoo, excited. So excited, loved watching this show. They're coming back because we all need more ghost shows with more fake shit. Yay. Then we've got a Christina Aguilera jumping around in a chair, so I hope they're coming back, and I hope they decide to actually stick with real evidence this time. So we're starting to see a thing break out here. I hope they're coming back, and I hope they stop faking shit, not like before. They got caught faking, but I like them still. I really don't see why this is all that important when they get caught faking shit. All of you have been greatly missed. Hey, we really love you guys. This is awesome. Jason and Steve were always so funny. Fake, 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 fake. Fake. I'm counting all the fakes to make sure I get all the fakes in on this. That's all this person said for my hands would have been cramped by the time I got this. Yay! Ghost Hunters is coming back. The original BS Ghost Hunting Squad. No. We don't need any more of this crap. I love this show. This is exciting. Well, I can't wait. I know that much. So, as you can see, I'm just giving a quick read over some of these others, because believe me, most of them are sticking the same way. I don't want to say the overwhelming response was bad, because it wasn't, but I definitely can't say it was good. Would you?
No, it sounded like overall people are like, well, they're faking stuff again.
It's like they know it's fake. And it's kind of okay, the feeling I got with it was kind of like someone saying, hey, we're going to remake The Exorcist. It's like, oh, cool. I like that movie. That was a good movie. That was scary. Yay. It's kind of that same feeling. It's like even the ones that were excited about it were just excited because, hey, I used to like that show. Well, yeah, I know it was all bullshit, or a great one is one of my passions, not passions, but one of my things is pro wrestling. For years, everyone, oh, it's fake, it's fake, it's fake. Well, yeah, no kidding. I mean, who could watch pro wrestling for 5 minutes and not think it's fake? If you could not tell that those people were working together, you had a serious problem. I mean, that's just it. You knew there was something up. You might not have known what it was, but you knew something wasn't quite kosher in this deal. And it's the same thing with this. You've got the people that have accepted the fact this is scripted entertainment, and they're taking it as a TV show, and they're going, "All right, I like this show. I thought Jay and Steve were funny together. I thought, this was good, this was that, and that was that. I liked it." So it's like we're dealing with Ghost Adventures. Then you had the people that are outright sitting there going, "It's fake, it's fake," and like the one guy that put it to the theme of the sports thing with the fake, 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 fake. It's like, yeah, okay, we get it. It's fake. The problem is, it's not supposed to be fake. And this goes to show you, and it's something that we have preached over and over and over again on this show. When you're dealing with the paranormal, you have your reputation, and that's it. Once that reputation is gone, you have nothing. Their reputation is gone. And the thing of it is, as they keep doing this, and as they keep putting it out, and then, of course, Grant and Jason and all of those guys, they were the ones that founded TAPS. So as they keep putting this out, and as they keep turning the screws a little bit more, and the people keep saying fake, 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 they are dragging TAPS and all the teams in TAPS into that category with them. Where they did originally open up a door to everybody in the paranormal investigation field. And they did a lot in the beginning. They made it less taboo. They made people talk about it more openly. They did advance some of the technology. They did show people different methods. They did explain things. They did, they brought knowledge. But as I've said before, the road to hell is paved with good intentions. I think the best thing ghost hunters could have done for the paranormal field is stayed a ghost. You see by the reaction that they're getting. It's bringing up old memories. It's bringing up the old drama. Now, granted, you're still going to have the people that flock to it. TAPS is still going to get a boost. And trying not to let anything go, because I was a member and I did have access to things that the public doesn't. Believe me, they need it. They need it bad. It's still bringing the wrong attention, and it's setting this field back. A field that we have an uphill battle at best on, it's setting back again, and we don't need any help setting back.
Well, and we've talked about it before. If you fake stuff, now I'm not talking about you get evidence. I mean, people say, okay, you got evidence of something. You've got to interpret what you get. And we do this all the time. Is it an EVP or is it one of the team talking? We'll go back and listen to it and compare it to something else. No, that's one of the guys said something. So we'll kick it out. You have to interpret your evidence, right or wrong. It's one thing to have something happen and make an incorrect interpretation of what it is. There's nothing wrong with that. I'm not saying that there is. Everybody can make a mistake on something. You get something. Oh, what the hell's that? Oh, that's this and this. Well, that's not normal. It's okay to be wrong like that. That's not a problem. The problem is when you intentionally put something out that you know is fake, that you pass off as paranormal. And then when you get busted, because everybody does, I don't care how good you are, at some point you're going to get caught, then you not only ruin your own reputation, but anybody that ever worked with you in the entire field that you're in, especially this field, when there are no experts, there are no peer review, because there are no experts to peer review you. There are no scientific white papers on the paranormal because none of it can be proven. Then you make everybody look bad. You take a field that you're supposed to care about and do work in, and you totally shoot it right in the ass. I'll just say it that way, because that's what it is. I mean, everybody that's trying something new, even if it sounds stupid, It's like I told the guys the other night on our team. Try something new. It's all right if it doesn't work or you don't get the results you wanted. You try it anyway. Because what's it going to hurt? We've been doing the same old tired ass stuff for the last 30 or 40 years, and nobody's proved anything. So try something new. What's it going to hurt? It isn't going to hurt anything. You're doing research. That's what research is. But when you get people that go on TV, now granted, I used to watch Ghost Hunters all the time. Every Wednesday night, 2 hours for Ghost Hunters and GHI, and I was right there. Because it was entertainment. And I used to like to watch them go on investigations. See the places they'd go. No problem. Bag of popcorn, a Coke, and I'm sitting right there. There's nothing wrong with that. But you have to remember that that's entertainment. They're going to make that show, all the shows on TV about the paranormal, they're for entertainment. They're going to make the show and do the recreations and do whatever, even if they get evidence when they go somewhere. You're going to show them doing, they do their investigation and then they do a segment where they review evidence for 5 minutes. Well, it doesn't take 5 minutes, folks. It takes days and days and days.
I can get a good idea with the audio part of it. And this is not even dealing with actual investigation evidence. This is dealing, I produce podcasts. I produce this one. I produce, 5 others, 6 others. And I produce podcasts. By the time I'm done editing these podcasts, first off, for a half an hour show, it can take me anywhere from 20 to 30 minutes to edit it correctly. And I usually listen to the entire thing 3 times, 4 times. And that's not even listening for, and people who don't do paranormal investigations don't really understand the level that you have to do with the especially the audio. When you're listening for an EVP, you're literally listening for a whisper on the wind. So you've got to enhance it. You got to do this. You got to do that. You got to pull it out. You got to clip it. You got to do that, and you got to do the other. And then, like you said, you got to go back and because, like I will say it myself personally, we had a very interesting experience the last time we were at the George Little house. I ended up getting 2 voices that I was not sure whose they were. It turns out one was mine and one was Pete. And even with mine, it was absolutely amazing because my voice recorder picked up no sound waves when I talked. I did a true whisper. It was at such a low level that I did not cause a sound wave vibration. But it was me. Because I listened on another camera, I did cause a vibration and I could clearly hear my voice then. It was the fact that those 2 had to be thrown out because they weren't what I thought they were. I didn't think that. I thought they were exactly what I thought they were. But the fact is, one was very low and very fast, and the other one was me whispering because I just said something underneath my breath without even thinking about it. And that took me each one of those clips were like 10 seconds each, and they took me somewhere in the neighborhood of 5 to 10 minutes each to work on and pull out just to be able to say, okay, no, that's me, or no, that's Pete. So no, the sitting down for evidence review for 5 minutes, that is a drastic misjustice.
I wish it took 5 minutes. Most times it takes 5 days.
Yeah. Believe me, I think everyone wishes it took 5 minutes. I know the guys are definitely learning that the hard way right now. John and Dan are both like, oh my God. Because it's brutal.
Welcome to the party, guys.
Yeah, when you go to the show, you got to dance with the girl that brung you, and that's what you got to do. But that's like you're saying. It's an overwhelming. It's like I said, it's not really negative. It's just acceptance. This isn't real. And I remember a few years ago with the great, what is it, Most Haunted Live? The group.
Oh yeah, those bastards.
I remember a few years ago, I was actually talking with a group in England, and they were talking about that after they got there. For anyone who is interested, there was a video showing one of the guys said he got pulled up the stairs, and he did get pulled up the stairs. We could all clearly see the rope tied to his belt. So he tried to come out and say, no, 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 it was a camera wire. It was a camera wire. I had a camera wire tied to my belt, so I didn't trip over it. Nobody was believing it. But, they attempted. And basically the team lost all credibility. Because they had been caught kind of, not really faking stuff, but just not, I guess you'd say they were kind of the Ghost Adventures of England. They were very much drama queens. They loved overreacting to everything. I still remember my favorite one of all was their psychic getting up there and the guy talking about this woman who was supposedly killed, and the rumor said that she was maybe killed by her husband because she was having an affair with someone, and the guy stands there in the middle of a restaurant, people all around him, including the owner of this place, and they're English, so they were very proper and all of a sudden at the top of his lungs he starts screaming out, "Mary loves Dick, Mary loves Dick, Mary loves Dick, Mary loves Dick." And the owner looks absolutely mortified. The woman that hosts it with him is laughing so hard she's got to get off camera, and he goes, the owner, to try to save it, goes, well, maybe her boyfriend's name was Richard. So, I mean, there were things like that that happened, and tell me you couldn't see, if Zach Bagans claimed to be psychic, tell me you couldn't see him doing that. Just stand in the middle of somewhere screaming, "Mary loves Dick, Mary loves Dick, Mary loves Dick." I mean, that was just the whole thing. So that whole crew was always, to me, kind of like, eh? But when they finally got caught actually faking, and that was it. I'd been talking to a few groups in England, and the guy I actually came right out and said, you know this team better than I do. What are your feelings here? And he's like, I feel absolute disgust for it. He's like, besides being an investigator myself and seeing a team faking evidence that is on a national television, an international television, because they always had their specials in the United States, especially around Halloween. He's like, he's like, the other thing is that it kills the credibility of any team that's ever worked with them. And the fact that, hit a button here. And the fact that, they're doing this, and they were considered the top dogs, like Ghost Hunters was at one time. TAPS was considered the best team in the United States. Now they've been caught faking. So if they are the best, if they are the cream of the crop, the very top, what does that say about the rest of your teams? And every place anyone has ever gone that they have investigated, now all of their evidence is being questioned, because everybody that looks at it is going to say, well, wait a second, they were in there and they fake stuff. So how do we know you're not faking stuff? He's like, he said literally they have set back English paranormal investigation back to the Stone Age. It's like, we have no credibility anymore. And if you notice, if you do follow paranormal investigation teams, you notice there has been a drastic drop in English paranormal teams.
Well, for that matter, there's been a drop in American teams. I'm going to tell you, because I like to go out and look for people to be on our show. I'll pick a state at random. I'll go into the list. There's online, you can find a list of teams in a given state. They have websites. I'll just start sending emails or making phone calls. The vast majority of them that I find are no longer active, haven't worked in years. A lot of them basically wanted a TV show.
Yep.
Whenever Ghost Hunters was on, they said, well, if those guys can get a TV show, why can't we, And so trying to find people to be on the show is really can be difficult at times because the people that do actual research are still out there doing it, but trying to find active teams is very hard.
Yes, it is. It is something that just doesn't happen often.
The fact of it is we have cases right now where people contact us because they have a case, but it's so far away and sometimes in different countries, they can't find anyone to do it. And they say, can you guys please help us? We feel bad because we can't go. Because if I was able to get on a plane and fly to some of these places and help these people, I'd do it.
Yeah,
but you go on and you try to find a team wherever they're at that's legitimate enough to go and help them, and sometimes there are none.
Yeah, that's actually bringing up something else I'll jump on my soapbox on real quick here. It was maybe, about a month ago? Month and a half now. I was contacted by a couple in Oklahoma. They had a very nasty case going. Very nasty. And they're begging me for help. What can we do? What can we do? And I said, you need to get a team in there. And they told me they contacted someone and they couldn't afford them. And I said, hold the fuck on. They charged you? Like, no, we can't afford it. I told her, I was like, well, that's the best thing they could do for you, because if they are a legitimate team, they're not going to charge you. No legitimate team will ever charge for anything that we do. Now, I'm not saying that there's not times that if they're drastically away from you or something like that, and they say, hey, we can help with gas or something like that, or well, I'll tell you what, before the investigation, come here, we'll get, you can have dinner at our place. I'm not saying stuff like that. I'm talking about a team that when you call them and they're going, sure, we'll be glad to come in and investigate. Now, the initial contact, that's going to be $150. Then the actual investigation is going to be this. And then after for review, it's going to be that. I'm talking about actually giving you price lists. Like I said, if you're 3 hours away from the team you contact and the team goes, is there any way maybe you could help out with some gas or something? That's not that out of line. Or if, like I said,
I don't have a problem with that.
I've had people offer breakfast, stuff like that. One team we investigated for, or one place we investigated for, the people were like, hey, one weekend, let's get together. We'll do a cookout for you to say thank you. That's fine. But like I said, June talked about this, that there was a guy in Oregon charging people $1,200 to remove spirits. And I have a sneaky freaking suspicion I know who that is. And if it turns out to be who I think it is, my next goal in life is going to be to discredit and destroy him. Because I don't like the guy to begin with. But if he is actually charging people $1,200, he is the biggest fucking con artist in the paranormal ever. And I swear to God, I will make it my life goal to destroy him. But that is ridiculous that they charge people money to do this. Because what are we doing? We have no clue what the hell we're doing. We don't know if we get rid of anything. We don't know if we wake something up. We can't tell you what it is we're recording. So you're basically, it's like the old joke that used to go around the internet, want to be a millionaire next year? Send me $1 and I'll tell you how. And when you send them the $1, it's get online and say, hey, do you want to be a millionaire next year? Send me $1 and I'll tell you how. Because you got enough idiots that would send the $1. It's the same thing.
That actually happened. That happened. The guy put an ad in the back of a magazine and send $1 in a self-addressed stamped envelope. That was all the ad said. People sent him a ton of money. They never got nothing back. So the guy gets sued. It goes to court. The man shows up as his own attorney, which means he has a fault for a client most of the time. And the man said, Your Honor, here's a copy of my ad. It says send $1 in a self-addressed stamped envelope. I did not promise anything, offered no advice. I didn't say I was going to send anything back to you. I said send $1 in a self-addressed stamped envelope. And that was all I said. The judge said, well, case dismissed. The man did not promise a service. He did not promise to provide anything.
He never said they were going to get anything for that dollar. He just said, send me $1 in a self-addressed stamped envelope.
$1 in a stamped envelope.
You know, and that's the basic equivalent to what we're doing. I mean, we collect evidence. And I've got a computer full of it. I've got voices where I shouldn't get voices. I got pictures of things that shouldn't exist. I've got stuff flying up at a camera that none of us could see. You know, I've got all of this stuff. I've got tons of evidence of what I have no clue. And I'm very bad. And I will tell you, I'm a computer tech. I do work on computers. My number one rule of that is I don't charge you unless I can fix it. If you bring me your computer and I look over and I realize there is nothing I can do for you, I don't charge you. Because how hard is it for me to hit buttons and look at something and then go, I can't do anything, and give it back to you? If I can fix it, I fix it, and then we talk about how much that's going to cost. But if I can't do it, then I can't do it. Because honest to God, you know pretty damn quick if you're going to be able to do something or not. So it's just, I don't charge people if I can't fix it. And this is the same thing. How do we know? Okay, somebody comes to you with a case of like a negative case. You know, okay, I'm going to go in here and remove it. How do you know you removed it? What did you remove? We work in a field which you really can't call this work. But we investigate and we research in a field of unsubstantiated rumor. We go in and detect invisible things with technology that was not designed to detect those invisible things. I mean, I can walk into a house right now and tell you there's ghosts hanging from the rafter having an orgy. I can't prove there's a ghost hanging from your rafters having an orgy. And I can't prove that I got rid of the orgy ghost. So, why in the hell should you pay me for it? So, just in close, because I want to get into our app of the week, and we've already gone a little bit longer than I intended. If you charge for a paranormal investigation, fuck you and the horse you rode in on. That's all I got to say.
Yeah, that covers it.
So, like I said, I wanted to get into the app of the week, which could be a good thing or a bad thing. And this, I know we haven't done anything, or, you know, really like put this through any real test or not. But something tells me that this app is going to be a short-lived test. And this one is called the Real Ghost Detector. And I'm going to tell you right now, anything that says it is the Real Ghost Detector, or throws the word real in front of it, you've got to say, that's probably bullshit. But we don't know. We're going to try. And I'm going to start it now. So far it's got a coolish design, and it looks to me like it uses a compass. So that's actually kind of neat. Because whenever I move my phone, the radar actually moves. So let's see what we got here when I turn it on. It's got spider webs and stuff like that on it, so it looks appealing. And it is on. And it has 0 detections. There's a whole bunch of numbers running across the screen. And me is a little dot in the middle of it. No sound effects or creepy music. That's for one thing. Uh, ad for Legos is running across the bottom. Here, ghosty, 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 ghosty. Does that work? So far we are detecting nothing, which actually could be an all right sign because, well,
You're at
we've all
home.
yeah we always talk about that. I've noticed with a lot of the just like the clear cut fake parlor game or whatever the fuck sleepover make your little sister scream games, they pop up like almost as soon as you turn the device on. It happens as soon as you turn the device on. And that's always something that should lead you to say, okay, maybe this thing is not as legitimate as I would think. Because actually I'm not getting jack shit. And that's, yeah. So like I said, normally it's actually a kind of good sign. Because like I said, a lot of the times they will, you can actually, let's get the sensitivity, kick it up some. Because you can actually, I have no clue what the hell any of this stuff means. Magnetic flux density, sensitivity, and magnetic strength. So we're going to boost all of that up. And sensitivity, okay. Now we're going to close it and see if, whoa, I got a beep, but it didn't do nothing. So it does actually have settings on it. That's me playing with the settings. Okay, that was me taking a picture of it. And yeah, I'm still not getting anything. And I've even jacked the settings all the way up. Oh, wait, it does have notes though. Silver is associated with the spirituality and connection with a higher source. This writing is really freaking small and I can't pull it in any. Some Oh, whoa, we got a whoop. What's a whoop? Whoa. We've got a ghost beside me. Yep, it is sitting in the bed beside me. Can you move to the foot of the bed? Okay, that's the head of the bed. Foot, other direction. Now it's standing outside. Can you come back inside? Come a little closer. No, wrong direction again. Other way. You're going away. Yeah, now it's supposedly behind me.
You did say magnetic flux density, yes?
Yep.
Well, magnetic flux density is a unit perpendicular to the direction of a magnetic field strength, a magnetic intensity, or magnetic flow, field strength. It's a vector unit. It's a sum of all the vector units created by an electric or a magnetic field. That's a magnetic flux density.
Well, according to this, just so everyone can hear it. Oh, and it went away. Okay, well, goodbye, Mr. Ghost Thingy.
If anyone hears an explosion right now, I got my goggles on, and Joe knows what that means.
There's doom and gloom as things go boom.
Yeah, possibly. I don't know. Sometimes I'm more like Heinz Doofenshmirtz from Phineas and Ferb than anybody else, but what are you going to do? All right.
Okay, and just for everybody to hear, it actually has a listed of what the different blops mean. They call them orbs, but I don't like using the term orb. But according to this, it says I had a green one, and a green one is in spiritual practice. Green is associated with the heart. It is also associated with nature. Green orbs are sometimes thought to be an indication of the presence of a human spirit, as opposed to the ones who were never on earth in human form. Likewise, green orbs may represent love or oneness with nature. Well, this green orb started out standing next to me, and then ended up in my bathroom. So, oh, and Mr. Green Orb's back. Hello, Mr. Green Orb, or Mrs. Green Orb, whoever you may be, and they're standing beside me again. So, let's go to see if we can get it to do something here. Can you sit in front of me? In front of me. No, wrong way again. You're moving the opposite direction of in front of me. You're moving behind me more. And they're behind me again. Maybe it needs the bathroom. Be sure to flush when you're in there. Okay, it's moving back toward me again. Okay, come on, you can do it. Come up here beside me. Actually, according to this, it's basically inside of me. Go on. Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. So, now, story time. I am supposedly, according to this ghost radar detector, real ghost radar detector, I supposedly have a spirit standing inside of exactly the same space I am in right this second. I've had a spirit walk through me on an investigation. I have the EMF defluctuation. I have a sighting of the spirit running toward me. It is the strangest feeling in the world. It is creepy. It's like you're being shocked an inch at a time. You get cold, your hair stands up, and I'm telling you this right now, none of that is happening to me, yet this thing is supposed to be directly over top of me as we speak. So, we are going to give this another 30 seconds or so. Because what I'm going to do is I'm going to actually ask it. If you are here, give me a sign. Knock something, push something, tap on something. This bed's really wobbly. It actually has finally gotten in front of me like I'd asked it to do to begin with. And here it comes back to me. And it's gone. So let's see what it says. It's got this flashing thing on it that says information report. So let's see what the information report says. The information report says I should download the CTV app.
Okay.
And for anyone who is not Canadian, CTV means it's the Canadian television network up here. It's kind of like ABC, NBC in there. So, information detection report says report ID number is $5139. Date is 2018 12/24 at 12:20 p.m. p.m. Unit type was sensors. Energies detected were 2. That now it goes into the magnetic strength, which was 2.414, magnetic sensitivity, which was 2.67, and magnetic flux density, which was 2.57. And the description of the entities are this: these entities have a strong connection to the Earth, but are somehow trapped and are associated with nature. So,
45 milligauss? Christ.
that's a lot of freaking EMF. What the hell are you doing over there?
I built a magnetic induction coil.
Oh. NSA, it's really just a magnetic induction coil. He is not building a bomb of any type. I know you're listening since we're using Skype. Just want you to know that. So, I think, even though I screwed up yesterday and deleted my cow sounds, I think we're going to call this one bullshit. Because basically, it did nothing. And like I said, if this thing was actually sitting where I'm at right now, or standing with me, you feel it. The energy level is weird. It's an undescribable, well, not indescribable. I perfectly described it earlier, but it is just a weird feeling. So I have no doubt that whatever was supposedly here was not actually here, or I would have known that. Because when it stepped on me, I would have felt it. So I'm saying bullshit to the real ghost detector. So, as you heard, is there anything you would like to throw in?
No, I'm not surprised though.
No, not really either. Like I said, I can't wait to talk to Brian. Hopefully he's got a lot more info about this kind of stuff than we do. And, you know, if we're wrong, I will come right out and make an apology episode. So is there anything you want to get in for the week? Which actually, coming up here soon, I'm going to actually record us an outro so I don't have to do this every week. So, you know, this is going to be something that we're working on for the future. But is there anything you want to throw in? Anything you want to add?
No, I think I'm good. We covered a pretty good bit of stuff.
Yes, we did. And even some more stuff than I intended. So, let's get into the last cavalcade of shameless plugging of 2018. If you would like to talk to us here at the Nightstalker, have a complaint, have a question, tell us how horrible we are, or call us a name at random, you can do that by either one, going to Facebook, looking it up under Nightstalker Pod, www.facebook.com/NightstalkerPod, or on Twitter at NightstalkerPod, or anywhere else, because, well, Nightstalker Pod was really easy for me to remember, so I just stuck with it. Of course, to hear the normal shenanigans, which, well, crap, by the time you hear this, it will already happen, possibly. But we're actually going to be, well, not we. I'm using the Queen's we, but not me, because my ass is going to be here warm at home. But tonight will be, or Christmas Eve night, is going to be a live Santa Watch on PNBC Facebook page and www.paranormalbc.com. Of course, if you want to watch on the Facebook page and would like to give us a like and a share and all that good stuff, you can do so by looking us up at www.facebook.com/paranormalbc. Of course, the Paranormal BC website to follow all the adventures of Paranormal North Coast, British Columbia is www.paranormalbc.com. Now, for the podcast network and all podcasts on said network, you can always download and find us on iTunes Podcast Addict, Stitcher Podcast, Google Play, Amazon Alexa, Spotify, SoundCloud, YouTube, Facebook, Facetube, YouBook, all of the different stuff, because frankly we are on so many of them that I've never even heard of. I can't name them all. But basically, if you can download a damn podcast from it, we're on it. And so is everyone else on the Nightstalker Network. That goes for UCF with Ryan Stacy, Dark Side of the Paranormal with June Lundgren and Wendy Stanton, Paranormal Crossings Into the Unknown with Aaron Collins, and of course, Psychic Medium Sherry's very own Portals to Enlightenment, your journey of mind, body, and spirit. So, for the last time in 2018, We hope you have a very happy and blessed new year. I hope nothing but the best for everyone listening, and 2019 being the greatest year you have ever experienced. This has been Joel Walling signing off for the year for the Paranormal Nightstalker and Michael Smith. Happy New Year, and may everything good come to you in 2019.
Now I'm stepping into this